following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey everyone, I'm Christine.
I'm Jada.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit.
Hi. You are in a turkey pants mood.
I guess. I don't know, just doing my thing and trying to, keep life going and happy and all that shit.
Yeah. I know. I get it. How's your week?
Mm.
Well, I say that as if I haven't talked to you several times, but how's your week?
It's okay. We'll pretend for the show. It's fine. Nothing seriously to write home about. I'm still doing my physical therapy 3 days a week. That's going great. And living, you know what it might be? Living a little bit more pain-free is quite extraordinary. It really lightens the mood. I walk around every day feeling the pain of the scale of, 1 to 10, a 10 all the time. But nobody knows because I smile and I put a brave face on, and I've lived with pain since I was 16. So it doesn't, I never really thought about it. Just thought, well, I'm going to live the rest of my life in pain. And that's just the way it is. And then finding this spine specialist and going through physical therapy is just like, I'm at maybe a 5 all day now. So the pain is at least half, maybe even more. I'm just feeling it right now because I've been using this special back pillow, and it's giving me some cramping today in my back. But other than that,
I'm secretly obsessed with, do you ever watch on TikTok the chiropractors and they do that cracking? This guy, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but this man, I watched one last night and he had back pain for 40 years. Could barely even get on the table to get that crack. And when they put the little chin thing and yanked him and I popped, I was like,
oh, isn't that shit great?
But it feels like I've never done it before, but it sounds like they broke something.
Well, they put a microphone on him.
Yeah.
So that's why you're hearing it so boldly and loud. But this specialist, so I've been going to chiropractors my whole life and not really get any relief. They'll get some things, they'll have a harder time getting my neck or my upper back, or they may not get my lower back, or they are adjusting everything else and everything hurts. This specialist does not touch anything other than my spine. He gets it all every time. He doesn't twist and jerk and herky me.
Yeah.
He's so gentle, and he gets my back, and nobody's ever gotten it quite like he does. And he doesn't adjust anything else because everything else is kind of falling into place as he's doing it. And the pressure and the pain, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Well, you sound great. I remember when you were in a lot of pain and you did not.
It's hard.
Great all the time. Yeah.
It's hard to have a brave face all day long and be nice to people when I'm in pain. That's why, that's kind of goes with ageism today. But when you get older and you're in pain and you're suffering, it is hard to keep happy and to not be pissy. And, it's just a lot. But
Yeah.
but
Well, I'm glad to see you smiling.
yay, how's your week?
Good. Busy week. I'm trying to think. It's always never ending.
Mhm.
But good. I had, gosh, this week I think I had three couples that just went on hold to date each other and explore that, which that's always exciting for me.
That is exciting.
So exciting. But no, it's been good. Just busy.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to make
If y'all are out there and you need help with dating and you have exhausted your stupid means of, going through the weeds of ridiculous people and trying to do the online dating, maybe
yes.
you should consider matchmaking. Y'all should reach out because Jade is amazing.
Thank you, Boo.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
I am very excited about our topic today because it comes up a lot in my consultations
It does.
for many, many different reasons. So
I bet.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Well, me too. Because ageism could be a lot of different things. It could be,
Yep.
not getting a job because you're too young, not getting a job because you're too old,
Too
not
old.
getting, you know, um, and then I saw something that was talking about how it's reducing older people to negative stereotypes and pitting younger and older generations
Against one
against each
another.
other and betraying life as a time of frailty. And this is the thing, you see it really prominent right now with millennials and Gen Z's or
Gen
Gen
Z.
X's, and they're like constantly going at each other. It's just ridiculous. Whatever. Well, let me introduce our guest today. He has been here many times.
Oh, I don't know where she went.
And while we wait for Christine to rejoin us,
I'm like, wait, was it me? Did I just
No.
show up?
no. It was a Christine issue. Wow. So I have her
We
back.
can
Here we
introduce.
go.
Oh, she's
Here we
back.
go. Yes.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I just literally fell
I
off.
was like, and
I went, oh, hello, are y'all there? I guess not. And I was like, I gotta jump back on. Oh man, the days of 3 years ago when we first started the podcast, and I would drop off and I'd be in panic and I'd be freaking out. Now I'm like, whatever, Jade'll handle it. So today we have the creator of Advanced Adulting, Bradley Richardson. He has been on the show before. He coaches the content to help grown-ass adults navigate and the shifts and changes of midlife. He is a 5 times best-selling author, speaker, coach, and executive who has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Rolling Stones, on Good Morning America, NPR, and more. He is incredible. He's been on the show before. We love him, and he's back to talk to us about ageism today.
Yes, we do.
So let's bring Bradley on. Maybe not.
Hi.
Hello, Bradley.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. So good
We
to see
love
you,
having
ladies.
you on the show.
I
Thank
know
you.
when you reached out, I was like, of course I'm going to do this. Yes. So
Nice.
always. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you actually work with a lot of different people who are, 40 up, right?
Yeah. The demographic really is, or you said it there. It's I help grown ass adults navigate midlife. And so what that means is really anybody predominantly in your 40s, but say 45 and up. And midlife, I have some smart asses go, oh, well, if you do the math, technically it's only 32 or 35 or whatever. I'm like, you know what? It's really, you are what you feel. But the things that I deal with are a lot of the issues that you need some miles on you before you can really experience these things. And like they might be being divorced or dealing with, new relationships in your 40s and 50s, dating, being an empty nester, finances, retirement, career changes, elderly parents, I mean, these are the real things that all of us deal with. And, kind of as I like to say, I mean, you may be a grown ass adult, but that doesn't mean you're stopped growing. And these are all of the things that we encounter. So that's who I do it for.
I think there are a lot of people in this world thinking they have grown because they're of an older age, and that they're good and they're done. But I agree with you, Bradley. I think it's all about growth. I think we continually grow and change. And if you don't, you get stuck, where really are you going to be?
Well, it's funny. I had the opportunity many years ago after I wrote my first book to do work with Southwest Airlines. They brought me in to how do you hire? Because I wrote the first business book for Gen X back when I had hair and was in my 20s. So that's what I did. And so they brought me in to, hey, how do you hire these 20 somethings Gen X? And I got to meet Herb Kelleher, who's founded Southwest Airlines, and he had a quote that I absolutely love: is if you rest on your laurels, you get thorns in your ass. And I thought about that. I thought that is something right there, because it just speaks to, if we, hey, well, I've done it. I'm here. It's okay. No, life is always putting something in front of us, a different issue. And that's the thing I love about advanced adulting, is it really doesn't matter what part of the country or even world that you live in. It doesn't matter what your background, your education, how much money you make, any of those things that are the labels or differentiators. For a lot of us, you're always going to lose a parent. Most of us are going to deal with a relationship or a career, maybe at different levels or stages, but we do have that in common, and nothing really prepares us for it. So,
yeah. Well, thanks, Charles. We love Bradley too. He is a character. It's the same goes for any type of relationship, though, too. What you were saying, Bradley, is that you sit on your ass and you're going to get thorns, because, like when you enter into a relationship, you got your best foot forward. You're always, trying to woo and be this certain thing, and then you get them, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I got them, it's all good. And it's not that way at all with
Isn't that
anything.
the truth? I think everybody's done, we've either done it or had it done to us, and you get lazy, and that's hard. I mean, I've been guilty of it both, and I've had it done to me, but I've also been guilty of it as well. And it's that case with relationships. It's that case. It's funny. You just you don't intentionally take it for granted, but you do. You just get soft. It's not. There's no malintent, but you do. You just kind of go, all right, well, until you're called on it. Until you're called. It's funny. We're going to talk about ageism all, but for what a lot of people don't know is, in addition to the advanced adulting, I spent over 15 years as a headhunter and executive recruiter. And I was a partner in one of the largest firms in the country, and I placed all these executives. And I think the same thing goes with, the moment someone goes in to resign, right? It's no different. Like if they walk, your spouse or lover walks in and says, "Hey, I'm done." Okay, you freak out, right? You freak out. And so someone goes in to resign and say, "Hey, I'm taking another job. I'm leaving." And suddenly that employer, "Oh my God, don't leave. You're so important, and here we'll offer you all this money." And my question is always, well, where the hell was the love before?
Right.
Why does it take this to wake you up to realize that there's some value there?
Yeah.
Right.
And we do that in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I agree. So let's talk about ageism.
Right.
I have to say, sorry, Christine, because I'm so excited about this topic, especially being a matchmaker. It comes up literally like 90 times a day.
How does it come up for you, Jada?
Well, okay, so there's so many different ways. So a lot of my female clients believe men only want to date young women. Like, women 40 to 55 will say, well, nobody wants to date me because I'm older. Men only want young women. I had somebody today. I had somebody today tell me that she saw something on Tinder that 20 to 30-year-olds are more likely to find love on Tinder than people over 30. And I'm like, that's not true. I work with, that's not true. So I am excited to hear how it shows up for you and what your thoughts are. Do you even, do people talk about that with you, or what do you think about that?
Me with ageism?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I mean, to me, it can encompass a lot of things. Okay. And we can talk about the dating part, but we can also talk. I've been doing a lot of work lately on the employment side. Yeah. And a lot of them are the same. You know, a lot of misconceptions, a lot of bad information, a lot of prejudices. You know, and we can talk about both of those. But I think that, you know, I think the one thing is this, and I look, you know, on regular social media, you don't see it as much, but on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people, you know, and again, I'm not going to make any fans on this one, but a lot of the big champions, you know, and they're all this semantic bullshit. It's, you know, like if we can put a different label on something, just because you call it something different doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So for
What are they
example,
calling it?
oh, it's not anti-aging, it's pro-aging. Oh, it's you know, it's a middle essence. Oh, you know, there's a big author out there, you know, and he's like, oh, let's call it a chrysalis and all of this. And okay, that's awesome. Let's all talk about you know, it's a rebirth. It also sucks, okay? And you know, it just does. And it sucks, you know, you can sit there and claim, well, I'm going to embrace my wrinkles and my gray hair or no hair or whatever. And that's awesome if that's really you. But you know what? You know, sometimes it does suck. And I think it's this idea of it does suck. I mean, it doesn't mean that doesn't, oh, well, you know, let's don't call it a midlife crisis, a midlife opportunity. Horse shit. People want to blow their heads off. Okay. I mean, I'm kidding you. And I think that's the thing is just, you know, it's not, you know, Chicken Little, oh my God, life is awful. But it's also like, hey, because you do question a lot of these things. You question your mortality. You question your usefulness. Usefulness. You question your youth. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, oh my God. You know, hey, thank you, menopause. Thank you, andropause. Thank you, low T. Shit didn't work like it once did, or I've got all this weight. Okay. And those are real things. Okay. And, you know, the reasons behind it, all that. I think what I do see a lot, and this is more in the workplace, but it can apply to anything.
Sure.
Is, you know, people are looking for a solution for it. You know, I think that's it. Oh, well, you know, it's wrong. We have to fix this. Good luck. You're not. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not. And I think that's the part that when I say this, it offends some people, at least on the business side of things, because, you know, it's virtue signaling. It really is. Okay. You know, and again, I don't even claim to put my foot in the whole DEI world. I just stay away from that. But in this one, we have something in common. You know what? Everybody is going to get old. Everybody. Okay. It doesn't matter what color you are, you know, what you prefer. It doesn't matter. You're all getting old. And what we forget is when we were young, dumb, and stupid, when we were super hot and thin, we were assholes too. We looked at,
we were,
and we looked at, I know I did. I mean, hell, I wrote my first book was called Job Smart for 20 something. I was looking at people in their 40s, 50s, and you ask questions like, oh, how could you do this? Why this? And then you realize, and I think the irony is for a lot of us now, we forget that or at least with our generation, this is, you know, Gen X is so awesome, but this is where I think we screw it up, is because we claim to be tough and bulletproof and drinking out of a hose and all this stuff. And then a lot of people are, well, wait, you shouldn't treat me badly because I'm old. That's wrong. We shouldn't do this. I go, well, no shit. But guess what?
Yeah, they did it too.
It's always going on, and it will always go on because that is something that you will not understand. Everyone will encounter, and you cannot grasp it until it hits you. Until those moments when you realize, wow, I'm just not young anymore, or I can't do what I did. And we forget that, and then it changes the perspective completely.
I think that when we're younger, we are so vibrant in our ideas and our energy and our visions and our whatever. Okay. We are so caught up in feeling our youth and feeling like we're going to be fucking young forever. And we don't stop and see what our 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60s are going through, because there are parents, there are older siblings, there are uncles and aunts, and we don't really pay attention to that. And then we start to feel it as
Mhm.
we're getting in our late 30s. And, now all of us, are Gen X's who
Right.
are, seeing our parents die
Yep.
and watching our family just fall off. We're becoming the eldest of our
Sure.
families.
Yeah.
And we are now looking back going, why are these little somethings giving us shit? We don't
Right.
stop to think that we gave shit to the older generation,
Mm.
Absolutely.
but when we get to this age, we stop to think and go, whoa, hold on. We still feel like we're in our 20s and 30s. We still have the
Yeah.
same mindset, though we're smarter, hopefully. All of you,
Right.
hopefully. Some of us are smarter. Some of us are evolving. Some of us are working on ourselves. Some of us are trying to make life better, not only for ourselves, but for the younger generation, the future generation,
Mhm.
the older generations. Some of us do try. But we're sitting here now going, fuck, I pulled a gray hair out. I'm coloring my eyebrows so that they don't gray.
Right.
I've gained weight. I've had menopause. I'm trying to find, this journey in life. And I think, and I'm sure a lot of people think, what the hell is going on?
Mhm.
How can I be in my late or mid 50s and still feel the way that I feel? And then we're being judged for being older. We're being judged for being fatter, for being, wrinkly, for, whatever.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about the wrinkly and fat thing in a minute, but I think that what's interesting, and this will blow a lot of people's minds when it sounds so simple, but when
Mhm.
you actually grasp it and conceptualize it, that we don't realize. We look at the people who are older, we look at our parents, we look at our uncles, we look at aunts, and all of them, and our parents especially. We don't realize that they're growing up too in real time. We
Hmm.
look at the people who are older
Mhm.
and we just think, oh, well, you're older. You're supposed to have your shit together. You're supposed to have all the answers. And we don't, now that we're that age, we realize,
Mhm.
wow, you don't. Because you still feel, to your point, you still feel young and vibrant and at whatever age you identify with. And we don't
Mhm.
realize that our parents were, because again, I mean, we all talk to so many people. I've coached so many people on, and look, I've spent, so much money on therapists. Oh, your parents screw you up and your parents did this. Yes. But when you finally realize, and yes, I understand, so people don't lose their minds. There are some parents who just suck and they're sociopaths. I get it. But there are some, you just kind of go, man, I get it now. You just didn't know what to do or were doing the best you could with what you knew then. And if you knew differently, you'd do differently. But you
Right.
didn't. Because I've raised 3 kids. I've screwed up a marriage. I know, and you're like, wow, you're going through, that's advanced adulting. You're going through all this in real time. And you don't know what you don't know until it's hitting you,
Mhm.
and you don't just walk in and go, hey, it's not like puberty where boom, suddenly it happens and you have all of these things. And
Right.
I think that's the thing. And I know with my own experience, I had a lot of resentment towards my dad and things I just didn't know or understood. And I just thought, oh, well, you should just do this, until I finally had kids, until I'm
Mm.
finally going through some of the same things. I go, oh, doesn't make how you did it or how you handled it, doesn't make it better, but I understand now. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges. We talk ageism, but in anything is, we expect it to be solved. You're not. You're just not. It's something you have to. You really is. My opinion is, you have to experience it, and you're just going to go. You can talk about respect. You can talk about respect your elders. You can talk about honor your elders. You can talk about learning from them. But oh, we're all just wonderful, multi-generational, and get along and play kumbaya and have fun. Not going to happen.
No.
Because you look at, again, I'm not a biologist here, but you look at the animal world, you look at athletics, you look at anything. Everybody, there's always some young buck looking to come in and looking for the slow old Impala.
Mm.
That's it.
Right.
There's always, and it will always be that, and I think the best you can hope for is to either, and it's more of a cultural thing, I guess, but the respect,
Mhm.
and respecting your elders, learning from them, and being able to embrace that. But in lieu of that, a lot of us, what are our choices? We can't change it, but we have to just learn to deal with and play by the rules that are out there now. and they're not
Yeah.
always.
When it was funny, Country Corners Gazette a second ago said we are lucky we survived those times. Yeah, we were, because we were really in the middle of oh my God, I see so many things in my head. The older generation of our families our parents being so different than what we were raised. We were left to the wolves, basically. And we overcompensated when
Right.
we had our children, and we coddled them, and we wanted them all to get trophies, and we just protected them, and we cuddled with them, and we told them we loved them, and we didn't want to spank them. That was my problem. I didn't spank my children.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I'm going to be honest. I did not spank my children, and maybe I should have. And
I'm from Texas. Where do you think I stand on that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, timeouts. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't work. So now we've created this problem, and we're looking back and we're blaming the millennials, but we fucking had and created those millennials.
Well, it is, but it's also this. My kids are all in their 20s. My daughter's married, and you know what? They're gonna deal with similar. I don't say similar issues, but they're gonna deal with their own brand of shit.
Yeah.
That's just it. And it's no different. I mean, and it's just so funny. I mean, I remember, and it's funny how it's a business too. Like, when Jobs March for 20 somethings, my first book came out, I was 28. Okay. And I did well for a long time and made a boatload of money and did well with companies bringing me in on how to hire Gen X. But then there's a tipping point. And like I said, we're Gen X now. And now the issue is, retirement. Oh, menopause. Oh, this, and it's going to be no different, because everybody's fawning all over Gen Z and all this. And guess what? In 20 years, they're going to be the ones, looking for all the same deal. It's interesting though. I mean, I think that there are some, again, we can talk relationship side or we can talk the career side. They are interrelated, but I think a lot of it is, if you're us, okay, you're experiencing it, understanding why it happens is an interesting one, because it's not always a personal assault. Okay. It's not. And I believe that goes for, to Jada's point of, men just want younger women. Yes and no. Okay.
Right.
And same with why employers experience that too. And I think there's different ways to handle that.
Yeah.
So how do we handle that? I'm sorry, Jada, go ahead. Let's do Jada's question, and then we'll go to how we handle that.
Okay.
I was actually going to tie into that, how we handle that. But I have a friend of mine who is 47, and she has been, I want to say she's been unemployed for almost a year. So for her, she's applying for these great jobs. She's got her master's degree and has done all these amazing things. But she gets very upset and frustrated, because she's like, it's the younger people that are getting the jobs. Like, they don't, for some reason, companies don't want to hire me. I don't know if it definitely has nothing to do with her qualifications.
Sure.
But she and I have several conversations about that, because now she feels she's having to settle for jobs like, I don't know, answering phones when she's overly qualified. So how, yeah, I
did a video on YouTube. Okay. Y'all can go check it out on my YouTube there. And it was just called that, Overqualified. And it blew the hell up. And, it was something I did with a small group of mine. And I just said, okay, great. Y'all want to know how things really work? I will Anthony Bourdain this shit and just tell you exactly what really goes on. Okay. And I don't doubt for a second that your friend and many others are experiencing that. The best person doesn't get the job. Okay. They just don't. And sometimes it's completely arbitrary. Completely. I mean, it's okay. Whether it's real or not. Okay. Thoughts that thoughts that can go through it. You're making too much money. Okay. You'll want too much money. Why would you take this so little money? Okay. You're going to get this. And sure enough, when the next thing comes along, you're going to leave. These are the real conversations that are going on. Now, none of these may be true. Okay. You're going to be a pain in the ass. You're overqualified because you know more than me, and it's going to make me look bad, and I don't know how to deal with it. I'd rather get someone young I can pay next to nothing, who's stupid, and I can tell what to do. Okay. All of these different types of things. Okay. We want someone to grow with the company. You're just going to leave us. And so those are things that are real things that are going through any employer's head when they're looking at someone like this. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And my advice to anyone like that. Now, the challenge is getting in the room. Okay. That's the big one. That's a whole other topic there. But if you get in the room, you get in the call, you get in conversation, I propose you basically call out the elephant in the room. Okay, you got to bend and this is back to the Gen X thing. You got to bend and break a few rules here. You have to be a little bit of an ass here, okay? Because and I'm telling you as a recruiter, okay? I'm telling you what is going to get you noticed. Okay.
Okay.
And this is, we are probably the last generation to grow up. We think we buck authority, but we don't. Okay, we follow the rules still. And so, I've got to apply online and I have to wait to hear from them. And HR is going to talk to me and I can't go around HR because I might piss off the recruiter, or I can't do this. I can't, I can't risk upsetting them. I have to go through the interview and not ask questions. All bullshit. Okay. So here's what, 50 Shades of Bullshit. So here's what we do. You call it out. Okay. Hey, look, I recognize that some people might think that I'm old. They may think that I make too much money, but here's the real story. You wonder why I would take a manager job instead of a VP job. Let me tell you exactly why. Or it's that you think I might leave. Well, I can understand that, but let me tell you this: everybody leaves. This is a big one right here. Everybody leaves. Well, what do you mean? Well, that 20-something that you're going to hire that is far less expensive than me, but you're going to have to train and babysit to be able to get that type of work out of them. When they suddenly decide, hey, you know what? I'm tired of living here. I want to go to Costa Rica and open up a taco stand. I want to move and get married. Okay. They're out of there. When they're bored, they're out of there.
Yeah.
No different. So what would you rather do? Would you rather get the person with the experience who can run twice as fast? And even if I'm only here for 3 years or 5 years, okay? Again, everybody leaves. If I'm only here for 3 years or 5 years, wouldn't you rather get that much more horsepower out of it and go further faster than having to bring somebody along? And they're going to leave you anyway, but I can leave success in its wake. And that is a great way to address all of that, because I guarantee you, these things are in people's heads. I've sat in the rooms and in the calls, and the moment that they hang up the Zoom call, the moment that person leaves, everybody looks and goes, what do you think? Oh, well, they're going to want too much money. They're too old. They're going to leave. They suck. Aren't they old? They're not going to be a good fit. All of that. Okay. You're overqualified. Yeah, I'm overqualified. So you're telling me, and what I do, this is a little bit of a strategy thing. And again, we could twist this and do the same thing in dating, but a lot of it is I advocate you ask hard questions at the very beginning. Too many of us, I have to play by the rules and ask me your questions. And then wait to the end. Do you have any questions? Total bullshit. What you have to do then is you ask questions ahead of time. So, hey, thanks for having me. Happy to answer anything you have, but I got a few questions as well. Okay. And so what you want to know is, things like, not just tell me about the job. Who's successful in this job? Why did the last person leave? Why didn't they make it? Who's going to make it in this? Okay. What's a win look like? Okay. You want the best. What's it mean if this person fails in this job? See where I'm going. And I'll tell you where I'm going with this. What happens if you don't fill this job or you fill it with the wrong person? Oh, we're going to lose revenue, productivity, blah, blah, blah. So you ask that at the beginning. So if you have half a brain and you're good on your feet, what's going to happen is later on at the end, you can then produce that. Because then you ask, one of my favorite questions is, what scares you about hiring me? Okay. A lot of people are not going to say anything. They're going to bullshit you. Oh, we're looking at a lot of candidates and we have to find the right one. Yeah, but come on, let's just tell me what. Now, a lot of people cover their ass because of, legal, I don't want to get sued, but they might say, hey, I think you might make too much money. I think you might leave. I think whatever. Okay. Or if they say, I think you're a little overqualified for this. Why would you really want to do this? Okay. And then remember my questions earlier? That's when you bring it around. So why wouldn't you want the best person for this? You told me this is a critical position. If you hire the wrong person for it, you're going to lose revenue, operations, blah, blah, blah. So why wouldn't you want somebody that's almost overqualified for it? Right. So you're telling me this? See, you have to drive it. Is that annoying? Is that obnoxious? You goddamn right it is. But we're looking out for you.
Yeah.
We're looking out for you. No one is going to look out for you. No one is going to be your advocate. No one's going to be your cheerleader. accept you. And the moment that Susie Q junior recruiter in HR is not going to, I'm the headhunter and I can, but you know what? I also have 3 people in the backup if you don't work out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be your own biggest cheerleader and address the elephant in the room because it's there. They're just not talking about it.
Do you think that that someone who does those kind of questions, who is that assertive, is going to make a bigger impression or be on their minds more, or when they're all done with all the
You'll be remembered.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you'll be remembered. It may not. Yeah, here's my other take on this, and I really want people to know. And again, we can apply the same thing. We can switch this and talk. There's so many parallels between this and dating and relationships. But if you're not going to get the job, if you're swirling the toilet anyway, okay,
Yeah.
Don't you want to take your best shot? Okay, and that's my thing with I have people. Well, what if I run? What if I upset the recruiter? What if I upset the person in HR? Because I advocate, hey, look, go to somebody who has the power to say yes. Go to somebody who can actually say yes, not deal with somebody who all their whole job is to say no. Okay. So if you're dealing with them and you're saying these things and you're making your case, if they're not going to hire you anyway, okay, if they're not, then okay, they're not going to. But at least you have taken some semblance of control in what you're doing. That's it. And that's I just again, we have to shoot our shots. Because again, if it's a gunfight and you're not even asked to show up, but they're comparing you against all these other people, you got to make your case. You got to make your case on that because they're thinking it. They're just not going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Rebel said, what did Rebel say? Most of the time it is someone most of the time someone will work for less than what you want. Oh, so that must be with regard to hiring.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Every company is different. Every company is different. That's it. But it happens, and sometimes it truly is a cultural thing. But there are some things too that I tell people don't say. I have people who they're and you see it on dating profiles too. Well, should I knock ages? Should I knock years off? Should I lie about my age? Should I knock positions off? Should I dye my hair? Should I do whatever? They're going to figure stuff out. Okay?
Yeah.
If you start off lying, you're just a liar. That's it.
Right.
And
if they hire you, they're going to see your ID.
Yeah. Well, but you have to get in the room first for that to even happen, because I know one of my girlfriends, actually, she's in Denver, the one who's been looking forever. She has taken off, which I don't even know why this was on her resume, but she has taken off her college information because she's like, I feel that when they see the year of my degree, that they feel,
of course,
she's so old.
Yeah, everybody works back.
The job history. But yeah, so she's now taken that off. So she just has her degree is in, but she doesn't have school.
Well, again, at the end of the day, it's a matter because what those people are looking for, people are looking for a square hole, square peg. Okay. That's it. Square hole, square peg, meaning it's not their job, their desire. It's not their business to sit there and go, well, you know what, Christine, on your 3 positions ago, you did something that I could maybe translate into this. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's not their job. Okay. They're not going to do that. Okay. Yet we freak out about, well, if I put this here, if I add this thing, they're not going to look at it. Okay. And so the other thing is people are so concerned with narratives. Okay. And no one cares what you want. They really don't. I mean, and the sooner you understand this, the better. And again, it's horrible. It runs counter to everything you've ever done or learned. No one gives a shit that I want to use my skills and experience in a team-oriented collaborative environment. That's awesome. You know what I give a shit about? I want to know, I kid you not, I want to know, what do you do? Yeah, I'm looking at labels. I want to know, what do you do? Where have you done it? How well have you done it? And can you do it for me? And if I can put that down there, let's translate this into dating profiles. Okay. Live, laugh, and love. And I want to travel. And I don't give a shit. You want to, sorry. I mean, they don't. What do you want to know? I want to know that you're a 5'6" brunette from Texas. Okay. I I mean, seriously, because our mind works in labels, and we're looking at how can I have this funnel, oh, and then here, and then here. But we think that people are going to, oh, well, I'm going to go so in depth. No, you're not. It's this, then this, then this. And the sooner you can understand that and get there fast, and get in the door, get the swipe, whatever, then you can worry about the rest of it.
So what are you suggesting that they do for dating when they find themselves being in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're out there trying to date and they're worried that, ageism is going to come into factor?
It is. It just is. There's nothing you can, there is no answer. The answer is there's no answer. Okay. Because if there is a man or woman out there that all they want to do is date someone in their head that, they want to date someone 20 years younger, there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You're not going to rationalize with them. They're going to go and they're going to, have a great time for a little while and, have some great arm candy and have some people with some banging bodies and maybe, not listen to them. And then they'll figure it out or not.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's not your deal. Okay. It's just a matter of, figuring out what wants you. Now, I have a friend of mine that, and it's a tough one. I mean, it's what do you really want and value? And that's in anything. Okay. What do you really want and value? So great friend of mine in Nashville. She's amazing. I mean, she's just absolutely stunning, cool, awesome, but just wants to be loved so badly, wants to be respected in a great relationship. The problem is she's our age. And she's like, yeah, but everybody our age, they're not really good looking. And so what happens is goes for the ones that are super hot and young and gets her heart broken every damn time. Awesome. Okay. What do you want? What do you really want and value? Okay. I want it all. Okay. Well, it's kind of like, no, you get it's like they say about building a house. You don't want cheap, cheap, quick, or good. Pick two. Okay. and that's kind of it. You're not going to get it all. So, anyway, so figure out what you really want. And, I think that it goes back to like we said at the beginning and said about working, you're not going to change it. You're not going to change it, and we want it to change. It should be different, and that's that awful word, well, it should be different and they should look at the whole person and they should embrace age. But they don't.
Yeah. I
or maybe
hear
some people
every day. I have people that say to me, well, Jada, this is really what I would prefer. I know that sounds crazy, right? And then I'll try to coach them through, okay, this is what's happened to you in the past. It hasn't necessarily worked. Let's try something a little more age appropriate. But then if they do, it always comes back like they just didn't have enough energy. This is why I like young people. And I'm like, oh, you weren't even open, first of all, because it's just not your preference.
It's funny though. I mean, everybody's got their own thing though, but for me, it's you start off a relationship based on a lie. You're going to have a relationship based on lies. Yeah, exactly. That's just it. And so that goes for men. I've seen, dating guys out there. Well, hey, short kings, maybe on your profile, lie a little bit. I'm like, you think she's going to fucking not realize when you show up, you dumbass? Okay. Well, I thought I thought you'd say no with us. Well, of course.
We have lots of stories of those.
Yeah. And I see that with women all the time, good friends of mine who, well, I'm going to shave a couple of years off. Okay. It sucks if that's what you want to do, but, it's funny. I think you just look at why. I think it's it's not a reflection on you. And I know that this doesn't make it better. It's just, it just is. Okay. I sound like, boy, talk about old man parenting advice. Well, honey, you'll understand. But it is. It's just it's not you. You can't take it personally. And there is someone out there who's just going to love you for your way. There's someone's going to understand your value, but you got to roll through a lot of stuff like that. And we do take it personally because who wouldn't on that, Yeah. And, you said that earlier about the whole, men just want young women. tell me there's not a 40 or 50-year-old woman on earth. Okay. If, Zac Efron or some hot young dude shows up, they're going to go, oh, no, honey, I'm sorry. No. It's not gonna happen. Okay. No. And it's no different. So, I mean, when they say, well, why? I mean, obviously there is the obvious question, of course, right? Who's not? But then you really look at the underlying issues. Okay. Why is that? Okay. Well, it could, my experience, not personal experience in this, because I never had the desire to go younger because they bored the shit out of me. Okay. I just didn't. But it's more of, hey, I've been in this marriage for X many years. She nagged me. She told me what to do. She didn't respect me. She didn't look up to me. And now I'm in a situation where this person who, they may be young, they may not know any better, but I get to at least be looked up to. Okay. Not great, but that's why. That's why right there. Because she's not going to question me. She's not going to think I'm a dipshit. That's why. And conversely, I mean, women have their own reasons for doing it, and not all are age. I mean, but that's the age thing right there.
There's also, I think, when it comes to dating and relationships and intimacy and all of that, I think there's ageist ideas around sexuality too, because women could say, oh, men, you don't want to date men over 45 or men over 50 because they just have no sex drive.
Yep.
There are drugs for that.
Yeah. It would be true.
Yeah. There's also a thing called exercise.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do about that. Yeah.
Right.
True. Facts.
Yeah, but it's true though.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that drives me literally mother effing nuts is when some dude says, oh, you look good for your age. And I'm like, do you know how many times I almost lose my mind on that? I'm like, excuse me, if you didn't know my age, you would have thought I just look good. But then the minute they know your age, they're like, oh, you look good for your age. They think it's a compliment. FYI, people, it's not.
Right.
It's not.
No.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Well, there are always problems with, the younger generation looking bad against us, or the older generation thinking, oh, the same thing. There's going to be problems always with this. I don't know what I was going to say. It just literally went out of my head.
I fall off that train of thought very often.
I just fucking fell off.
I think a lot of it is, as I've said several times on this, you're not going to change it. Okay. Right. There's the way it should be and the way it is. And you have to deal with what is. That's it. Yeah. But how you can deal with that is to not lie about it, to not shove it under a rug or look the other way. It's to embrace it. And however and this is the important part, however you choose to embrace it. I think that's it. And what I mean by that is there are people who've said, Jamie Lee Curtis, great example. I am me. This is the way it's going to happen. I'm going to let myself go, deal with it. There you go. And she owns it and rocks it. Okay. And there are others that are like, you know what? Where's the plastic surgeon? Where's the Botox? Where's this? I want to look good. I want to look young. However, and that's cool too, And I
no shame.
Yeah. I mean, I think either way, it's owning it and embracing it. And it's that a lot of it is that mindset, how you show up. But it's being true to yourself. And it's also again, such a horrible Reader's Digest cliche, but I mean, like the old Werther's original old man thing, but age is really a state of mind,
Yeah,
I mean, I know people who are younger who are like, God, you're an old man. You were just an old man. You just haven't caught up with it yet. And it's
just wait till they get to your age.
Right. And others who just are super high energy, super, vibrant. It's how do you want to live and how do you want to be, and you show up.
Exactly.
That's really it.
I like that.
I love that. And unfortunately, we have to end on that.
I know.
But it was a very good thing to end on.
Thank you.
I have to say that there are many a times I've been in a place and I've been the oldest one in the room, and all these young girls are just running around being all and I say, yeah, you just wait. Your day's coming, bitch. Your day is
I have to
coming.
send you this real quick. We have 2 seconds. It was a meme out there, and it's about, as you're in your 50s. I don't want to hear from some 20-something fitness instructor.
Yes,
I was
saw that.
20. I smoked cigarettes. I drank. I did this. I was thin. I could do anything. I want to hear from the one who's my age.
Yes. I actually like those because then it shows that they've actually come back from something, not these 20, 30s that have never had children, never had overweight, never had menopause. So fun time. Well, the same goes for men trying to teach women who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s how to lose weight after menopause. Thank you.
That's a whole, it's a whole other show right there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming today, Bradley.
Absolutely.
We love you. You're amazing. Jada, you're my heart and soul. And for all of you who come and visit us every week and listen to our crazy podcast, we hope you get something out of it because we're here to help you. So next week, same time, same place. And until then, let's keep this shit real.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.